Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome again to Impulse Summit Believe Live series. We thank you again for joining us, but I want you to stop right where you are, tag a friend, call a friend, have them join and watch and comment on our live this evening. But before we get started, I want to show you our humble, very humble beginnings.
There's no place like home. With your family around you, you're never alone. When you know that you're loved, you don't need to roam. 'Cause there's no place like home. Times are changing every day. We won't get by with those same old ways. Pulling together, we'll make it right. With help from our friends, I know we can fly. There's no place like home. With your family around you, you're never alone. When you know that you're loved, you don't need to roam. 'Cause there ain't no place like family. There ain't no place like family. 'Cause there ain't no place like, there's no place like home. I mean, no place, child.
5 years because we did what we believe. All things are possible if you only believe. So now let's not tarry. Let's welcome the CEO and founder of Impulse Summit, Miss Micheline Barber.
Good evening, everyone, and super excited about tonight's live. Let me tell you something. These individuals have been with us. Some been with us from the beginning. Some been with us for the first time, but you will never know because we've already made family just behind the scenes. Now, earlier today, I was talking to a couple of people about the industry and where we're going and different things like that. So tonight's live, we're definitely going to be talking about that. We want you to go in the chat. Write out any question that you may have for these individuals, and they'll be ready to answer it for you because they're chosen because of their spirit. They're chosen based off the fact that they love people, and they're chosen because it's always people over profit. Now, let me tell you, everybody who you're going to see this evening, tap somebody on the shoulder and say, I think you need to get on this live tonight, because not only are you going to meet individuals, but you also going to see what Impulse Summit is going to be bringing in Charlotte, North Carolina, September the 23rd through the 25th. That's right. We are going to Charlotte, North Carolina. All roads are leading there. And we want you in the seats of Impulse Summit. Yes, we have cutting, color, natural hair, trichology. We have it all. And we've added nails. That's right. We've added nails because it was asked of us. And I always say, asking you shall receive. Mark 9:23 says, all things are possible for those who believe. And this year it is the belief and the belief in what God can do and what he will do. I'm going to ask you this question a little later on. How important is it for your business to increase? And what percentage do you see it increasing after you leave Impulse Summit? That's a question that we're going to answer it this evening from these individuals. Let me tell you, this young lady has such an amazing spirit, very soft-spoken, but a powerhouse. And when I tell you, she is a leader beyond leaders. And she's an individual that anytime I've ever asked her to pray, or if I ever asked her to do anything, she's right there. I please welcome to the couch, the comfortable couch, because this is a comfortable situation, none other than Miss Shamira Ray.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
It's
beautiful.
awesome to be here.
So, I got to bring in some more kind of partners, all of our partners in crime, and this next individual is a person that, of course, he has a heart of gold. And when I say that, his heart beats, and when he beats, he always gives to other people. And that's why I call him my guy. I've been calling him my guy for a couple of years now. And you all have been with us, and y'all constantly be with us. Y'all, please welcome to the comfortable couch, none other than Mr. Corey Paul. And then we have another young lady. I've been knowing her for years, but this is going to be her first time educating at Impulse Summit, but not her first time educating. A master colorist, master cutter. And when I tell you she's coming all the way from Houston, Texas, bringing her techniques, her laughter, and her joy and her funniness to Charlotte, North Carolina. Y'all, please welcome to the couch none other than Miss Mason.
Hey y'all!
Y'all hear that, Houston, right? So,
oh, come on.
So you already know, we said we added nails. And let me tell you how God blessed it, because I was looking for a nail tech that has a sweet spirit, but one that is talented, skillful, but yet she loves the Lord, because this is a faith-based summit, and one that she came from amazing people. So guess what? She has no other choice but to be amazing. All the way from Tampa, Florida, bringing you blings on the nails all over. Now, please welcome to the Comfortable Couch, none other than Micheline.
Hi.
Hello. So we are all here. Now let's get with it. Let's get with this conversation. If you are on this live tonight, I dare you to share it. I dare them, right? Let's triple dare them, because tonight is going to be a conversation that's so comfortable. You will be able to say, I want to sign up for Mpulse Summit. I must be in the seats of Mpulse Summit. So if you're on here, and also tonight, we are gifting someone to come to Mpulse Summit. So, hey, that's a little hush hush. Yes, a little hush hush. So, hey, if you did what we asked you to do with tag, share, and the whole nine, we suggest you do that. Already somebody saying, hey, Danae. All right. So let's begin. Mr. Corey, you have been with us now going in our fifth year. What keeps you coming back to Mpulse Summit?
Definitely the energy. The energy at Mpulse Summit is unmatched. Like all the summits that we've been to, that we've educated at, like Mpulse Summit has its own special energy. I love that it's faith-based, for one. Like you can come there and literally get everything you need, from education, cutting, color, deliverance, whatever it is you need, you can get it right at Mpulse Summit. So I definitely love that.
And then we have Mr. Shamira. Now, what is it that, because this is your fifth year, this is number 5, and we know what 5 means. What make you keep coming back to Mpulse Summit? Like, you could go anywhere across the world. You could be at any venue to educate. What make you come back to Mpulse?
I would have to say the character of the summit. Its belief system, the values, the integrity of the show, as far as education is concerned. Of course, the camaraderie, and I would have to agree with Corey, the energy. It really does have a pulse. So I love that you can feel the heartbeat, and the heartbeat amplifies from year to year. So that keeps me coming back.
I love it. Now, Miss K, you coming all the way from Houston, Texas. We've been knowing each other for a long time. You reached out to me and like, hey, I want to be a part of Mpulse Summit. How can I be down? And now you hear, what is it that brought you to Mpulse Summit? Because you are an amazing colorist, amazing cutter. And you're bringing your gifts to Charlotte. What is that thing about it that make you want to come to Mpulse Summit?
Well, you really kind of touched on it. Anything that you're a part of, I know it's brilliant. Number one, we've been rocking for years, and so just sharing the gift with other people to see where they're at, to see how the transformation of, they might come in like really full, and how we could empty their glass and fill it up with positivity, education, great vibes, networking, just building the family, basically. So who doesn't want to be a part of that?
Right. And we are family, because we was just in the back joking on each other. So it already started. Danae was like, oh, this one I can look forward to. Now,
Right.
Danae, this is for you, right? You're coming in first year, and let me tell you, you breaking ground with us, because you are officially bringing nails to Mpulse. Okay, so you are breaking ground for real, because we've hadn't had a nail tech. So big ups for you on that. So you are one of the educators, elite educators in nails. What is it about you coming to Mpulse Summit that you look forward to the most?
I'm really excited just to show my skills and to show, what got me here. And I'm also excited to come and learn. I keep hearing, all the exciting things that are coming or that are going to be there. So I'm excited to see, what I'm going to learn and what I can give, teach to others and stuff like that.
I like it. And so your personality is soft-spoken, but yet you're a powerhouse, because your skills are like, I don't know whether y'all started following her. We definitely going to give everybody a channel to start following them if they haven't. But your skills are so profound. And you're
Thank
right here in
you.
Tampa, Florida. I'm like, wow, where was she at all my life? Where she been all my life? When I was looking for someone, but at such a time as this. So, Corey, let me say this. What drives you? Because we talked about the industry. You gave me, and one thing that you always do, you always give me pointers on, hey, Mitch, let's do this and let's try this. And you never are afraid to share any information that you may have went out and spent money on and you may have bought back. What drives you to continuously be Corey Paul?
To be Corey Paul, I mean, just to keep passing on education. You know what I'm saying? I talk about this all the time. I feel like I talk about this every year. But just coming from, Dudley DCU, going to the different shows and just seeing the energy that you and Freddie, had when you would come into the classroom, like that just inspired me. And I was like, I want to be like these ladies as soon as I get out of hair school. Like this is what I wanted to do. But just passing on that information, so that the next generation coming up behind us can take the industry even further. You know what I mean? So the days of gatekeeping and keeping secrets and how to do different things, how to do this type of business, how to start your product line, whatever, like that's over. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you're passing on the education and passing on the information so that the industry can continue to grow.
I like it. And Shamira, you're very knowledgeable on that in the growth part of, education and just the humbleness and you moving from one place to another, but you kept your faith. You kept your belief through everything. What is it that drives you? What is that force that keeps you saying, you know what, no matter what, this is what I was born to do and I'm gonna continue doing that?
I would have to say you touched on it when you mentioned faith. So of course God drives. Well, He gives me the wherewithal and the fortitude to keep going and keep moving. But it would have to be the people and their belief in me and my skill set. Even my peers in the industry, cheering me on, being my champion for me to keep going in a time of transition, and to know that I have the backing of like the clients, the guests, the people that you serve and see, the people that you educate, cheering you on, wanting to glean upon your gift. That keeps me going. It's God's reminder of the gifts that He has given me to pay it forward so that I can leave legacy in the earth.
I like it. And so, Kay, with you, the gifts. Everyone on the screen have amazing gifts, right? Your gift of sharing, your gift of constantly elevating yourself. What do you give? What do you give homage to doing that? Like, what stops you? What keeps you from constantly going to educate yourself? Because you could easily say, you know what, I have an amazing clientele. I know how to do this. What keeps you wanting to learn something, sitting in the chair to learn?
Um, the assignment that I was given. The assignment of the more knowledge I have, the more knowledge I can share. The more we share, the more blessed we are. So it's like this continuous pattern of let me get the information and then let me break it down to understanding that everybody can understand. Sometimes when you go to shows and stuff, it's like over your head what they're saying. But I've gotten the gift from God to be able to receive something and then be able to hone in on it and break it down to the simplest form. So you will receive it by the time I'm done, you know? So it's a continuous thing. You share to bless other people, to continue to bless yourself and honor God in all things.
I love it. Danae, with you and your nails. And I don't want to just call you nails. You are like a sculptor. Like you are like, what
Mhm.
where do you come with your ideas? Like, do you research? Do you say, I'm just going to try this? I'm going to jump out and just do this? What is it that keeps you saying, I like this? Or, no, I didn't like this and I can do better with this? What is that thing?
I don't know. I love what I do. So I'm always down to try new things, and especially with my clients. My clients are always down to try new things. It just keeps me motivated. I'm fresh to, I don't know, I'm just open to learning new things. It's fun for me.
And how long you been doing it?
November will be 4 years.
4 years. And you have grown. Now, this is a question I'm gonna start with Corey with this. You have grown in 4 years, right? A lot. If we look at the percentage of growth, and they always say if you were to do something 1% a day for 100 days, you'll be 100% better, right? Mm-hmm. Corey, what is it that we can say in the industry that someone needs to take that 1% and keep growing, because sometimes people get to like 5% or like a battery, and then they don't want to plug themselves back in. What is it about education that we need to constantly add something 1% every day for the next 100 days? We have 46 days before Impulse Summit, which means you can have 50% in between there. And then by the time you leave Impulse Summit, you at 100%. What is that thing that says, come on, plug in? What is that thing to tell that you got to keeping that 1% going?
Man, education is that one thing. Stylist burnout is a real thing. And just being connected to so many stylists in the industry, like it is spreading like a wildfire. But if you're not plugged in, if you're not locked into education, that's when you start to experience like, hey, I don't want to do this. I'm going to get a part-time job. This is not really working for me. But keeping yourself educated is keeping yourself motivated. The more you learn, the more you get more excited about doing new things, new trends, new techniques, learning new business tips, so that you're not standing behind a chair for hours and then you walking home with minimal pay. You know what I mean? All these things you can get right here at Impulse Summit. This is where you lock in. This is where you plug in. This is where you come to get that refill and refresher to keep you energized and, like Mitch said, plugged in to the industry.
Yeah. It's so important, right, Shamir, that and Kay and Danae, that we stay plugged in to education, that we stay sitting and strongly educating ourselves by looking up things, making sure that we know for sure when we go and stand in front of someone that, we are politically correct when we come to things. And if we are wrong, we go out and do the research. How is it now that we find a lot of people are running to YouTube and they run into all these other social media outlets for education, when the reality is sitting in the seats is the best place?
Right. I think
You
that
want to answer that?
Yeah, y'all can. Yeah, either one. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Kay.
When I look at things as such as like, like when you were in school, how you would build up anxiety because of lack of knowledge. So you're praying that the teacher don't ask you the question because you don't know the answer to it. It's the same thing I relate to in behind the chair. If a client comes to you and then say, hey, I want this color or I want this cut, if I have lack of knowledge of it, then it's going to build up my anxiety to either deflect and make her not get what she actually wanted. And so you're empowered when you have the knowledge of it. So that's why I'm constantly going to classes and getting the knowledge, because without that, then we're lost behind the chair, because we're in an industry that's constantly evolving and it's changing. The tools, the color companies, the cut companies, without the knowledge of all of that, then you're going to be left trying to get a second job. And nobody pairs you like the hair industry.
That's right.
And I tell you,
right. The beauty
is real. 6 figures is real.
Right. The beauty and barber industry is over a $7 billion industry.
Absolutely.
Over a $7 billion industry. And yet we will always tend to blame it on other people for us not being successful. The reality is we got to do continuous, not just because you're forced to get CEU hours, but continuously educating yourself to be better. And so even with Shamir, you moved from one location to a whole nother state and city, but you kept what with you? What is that what thing that you kept with you?
I kept my commitment to who I was and the thing that I did not even know I had inside of me. It wasn't anything that I prayed for. It was something that was gifted to me and given to me for me to be able to utilize and to sustain me and maintain me for almost 30 years. So it just took a memory for me of remembering who I was and what I have accomplished. And it's one thing to be great where you're from, but can you go be great somewhere else?
That's true.
And so knowing that I have everything that I need in my head and in my hands that can be manifested and created on different canvases is something that keeps me, energized and supercharged and ready.
And Murder say knowledge gives you confidence. And going back to that, Kay, when you say confidence of all of us on here have made mistakes, right?
Yes.
I didn't cut somebody's ear,
Mm-hmm.
color somebody wrong. The nails probably was wrong, right, Danae? So we all have made mistakes, but yet we did not stop. Danae, and anybody else that want to say what keeps you not stopping. Like, it's okay to be at a stop sign for a minute, because I told him I had a spiritual setback for a minute, a spiritual standstill, but yet I didn't give up. What is that? Because 4 years, there's plenty of nail artists that's around you, maybe right beside you. What makes you stand out? Because we're so comparing ourselves to other people that's right beside us. What is that thing that said, I don't look beside me, I look in front of me? What is that thing that keep you saying, hey, I don't care who's on the left or the right, I'm focused forward?
I don't know. I don't know. I just believe in my work, and like you said, back on the educating myself, I always say make sure I stay up to date on the new trends and stuff like that. I just try to keep myself relevant. I don't try to look around and see what's going on. I just like to make sure my clients and everybody's loving what I do. That keeps me motivated, keep them coming back also. So
I love it. Now let's look at the word invest, because I went live the other day and I told people, don't ask me how much something is anymore. Ask me what my investment is. There's a difference. Every investment comes a return. But whenever you pay for something, like say you eat at a restaurant, that's not an investment, right? That's something that you just purchasing. It doesn't last long, but the experience may last long. Corey, investment. You just went to a class. You just invested in yourself. You, again, like anybody on the screen could easily say, I'm cool, I'm Gucci, I don't have to go to any class, I'm fine. You just invested in yourself in a class and you bought things back. How important is it for someone to invest in themselves?
Very important. If you're not growing, you're dead.
Mm.
If you are not growing, you are dead. Like, you want to make sure you are continuing to flourish, you are continuing to grow. Even from, and me and you had a side conversation talking about the seminar that I went to. It was so impactful, just small things. I'm not as young as I used to be. Y'all see my little gray patch
I
coming
love
in.
it. I love
Um,
it.
but just learning how to work with millennials and how they learn and how they function, different things like that was so impactful for my business alone, because now I think I'm the oldest one in there, maybe, but it's a lot of younger stylists that work, in the salon. So it's, how do you work with them and how do you motivate them? How do you keep them coming to shows and education and different things like that? But if you're not learning these things, then we begin to get frustrated. We begin to want to give up. We start losing that confidence and saying, oh, I can't do this, or I don't know if I'm cut out for this. And that's not what God wants us to do. Right. So we have to make sure that we continue to pour into ourselves, invest into ourselves, so that whatever challenge may come up, we're ready to face it head on.
Right. I like it, because the investment is so important for the return. It's like anything that you're planting into a seed, or you're actually coming in and putting a seed in the ground.
Right.
It has to come out, and it's going to come out what you put in. And so I always tell people, don't have stinking thinking, because that's what's going to come out. That's stinking thinking. And that's why I like here that this panel, you all think bigger. You all have been doing this and you're constantly pouring back in. Danae, this is a question for you, because he just missed it. He just mentioned the millennium, and you look fairly young. The attack on the millennium, as far as getting them in the seats of education. What do you think some of the things that can contribute to them coming out and seeking education now?
I just think like they're definitely gonna learn, new skills and stuff like that. It's just very important just to stay up on your knowledge and learn new things. It's just fun. Like, especially if you have love in nails, I would definitely just say, come to the class and just see what I have to offer. It's very, I don't know. I really don't know how to explain it, but it's just
because you have a passion. I think what the millennials, what Corey and I was talking about, is that you have to jump in on Instagram a lot more, right? So what a lot of your followers on Instagram, correct? Danae,
you talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
A lot of your followers on Instagram, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what made you start building the Instagram? Because I know I do Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I'm sliding on over to Instagram even more, and then TikTok. It's other things. Millennium wise, what is it that you could say a tidbit of somebody say, what, if you're on Instagram, do this. What is that thing that you could say do this for?
I don't know how to explain.
Just take your time.
I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous.
We're trying to pick your brain. We're trying to say, I know someone said, do 30 seconds They can't sit there longer. My daughter always tell me, "Mom, don't do no longer than 30 seconds." Like that. That's not.
Yeah, for sure. Reels, the 30-second reels, that's definitely gonna, grow your page, hashtag sharing. Like you said, TikTok and all that. I'm new to Facebook. I'm trying to get into Facebook and stuff like that. But definitely the 30-second reels, like you said, that helps for sure. Grow your platform, show what I, know what to do and stuff like that.
Good. Stuff like
I'm
that.
gonna jump in on that a little bit too. I'm gonna say engagement, right?
Mm.
So a lot of
Yes.
times, like when we post, like we ain't going back on there and responding to comments. We ain't put no heart, no like, no emoji, nothing, right? But the more you start engaging, especially like when you see those notifications popping up, and so this is something I recently just like kind of peeped game to. I posted a video of a blonde not too long ago. And so just as soon as I seen people comment, I start automatically going back and responding, whether it was thank you, a heart, whatever. And so I got so much more play from the algorithms than just not commenting back at all. So definitely make sure you're engaging with the people as they, comment on your page, right? Go back and like or comment on their page as well. So that way it just kind of keeps them popping up on your feed, but it also keeps you popping up on their feed.
I can say that is true. Once I, starting in the beginning, I wasn't doing as much engaging, but once I started doing, engaging with my audience and, responding back, that for sure, helped
Yeah,
grow
because people want
a lot.
to. I think what we do, especially going live with the elite educators, right, is that we show your personality. Because it's one thing when you're behind a chair and people see the shears moving, they don't get a chance to see your heart or hear your heart, should I say. They don't get a chance to hear your passion. And like you said, oh my God, I don't know what to say, because you have an abundance of things to say, especially when you are behind the chair or in the chair, should I say, behind it. You know that your drive is your passion. And so that's where a lot more exuding come out. But through lives, when we go live or when we engage in our audience, that is showing your personality, that you are a real person. Like, oh my God, you really are, Kay. Oh my God, I see you on this, and I see Danae, I see Corey, and I see Shamir. Like, oh, y'all for real. And that's what Impulse Summit make you feel comfortable. We have an intimate space. I love it, because someone can come in there if you are feeling like you are broken down and don't have a way to go. Come to Impulse Summit. It's a way that you can just come in and pull Corey aside or pull anyone aside and say, I'm having issues with this. And you being able to tell what to do. Kay, how you feel about that?
Um, my logo is always in order to make money, you have to spend money. Period. That's it. Make money to spend money. It's like you can't hold on. I'll tell, because I have a wide range of my staff from young in the 20s to almost 60. And so I'm always honing on the younger stylists to say, look, you see our senior stylists, you see how they're grinding, their books stay full, they're booked and busy, and you over here looking like, okay, I need some clients. In order to get to that level, you have to educate yourself, and YouTube University is just not it. Because we're not going to show you everything on YouTube. You're not going to see it all on Instagram. And I've noticed, like, even with the trends of social media, people want to be entertained. So even though we're giving them, education in an entertaining way, it gets the younger generation to slide back. They could flip, because I'm looking in my chair at my younger clients, and I'm like, let me see what they're stopping for. They'll just slide by certain things, and certain things they stop and they look at, and then they keep on sliding. So then you kind of learn your kind of clientele and see what it is that's making them tick, what makes them, hit a heart on something, what makes them, leave a comment. So it's really like people want to be entertained, because mental health is real right now, and people just want to feel good about something, or be able to laugh at something.
Right.
And so I know TikTok, from one of my friends on this plate, love TikTok, always sitting there looking at the phone, just laughing. So I try to incorporate that now in some of my posts to make it more comical or something eye-catching, but the principle is you got to spend money to make money, period.
And it's so important. You said mental health, because at Impulse Summit this year will be our first year. We're actually bringing a therapist, a mental health specialist to speak to us. And that's very important. And she talked about a couch and a cross. You got to have both. And that was just so profound that this is some of the things that we are going to be offering at Impulse Summit. So let's sit back and watch this real quick.
Mhm.
So at Impulse Summit, some of the highlights for are them. We're going to start off with our Founders Toast. Okay. So our founders, this is the Believers Inc. Our Founders Toast is where we're going to be coming in. We have a founders room, and we also will have VIP settings. So if you are a founder, this is where it's at, because you made it happen for us to break ground in Charlotte, North Carolina, in September. So this is where we are breaking ground. And then it goes into our MIM mixer. That's going to be where it is our blue and white, where we focus on our grooming as well as our lactation specialist that's going to be there. So 5 years of celebration is at our MIM mixer. We have a good time every year. That's the way that you can come in, relax, enjoy yourself, and get ready for classes the next day. But at that event, you will definitely see other industry leaders that's going to be that you can actually come in and network with. And then we go in the next morning with our amazing pastor, Pastor Major Jones, which is the overseer. He's the people's pastor for from Life Point Church in Tampa, Florida. So with our Sunday post is led by none other than Pastor Major Jones. And then we will go into our classes all day. And then that evening, you will be at the Cream and Green Gala. Now, this is going to be led by Mr. Jerome DeMonte, Annalisa Jacobs, Sam Mitchell, and Ashton Moss. And all of these individuals have a plethora of gifts, knowledge, and understanding. And when you see the stage, when they hit the stage, you're going to be so engaged with everything from singing to entertainment to the hair pieces and all of the, I mean, they're bringing some staff in to really wow us at this Cream and Green. So, of course, it's a Cream and Green Gala. People ask, can I wear cream? Can I wear green? Can you wear both? Yes, you can. So this is where we would come in with that. The next thing is we have on Monday morning, we have another power breakfast. Our power breakfast is our PPB. That is a staple for us. And it's very important that we know about business, handling the business. So that's where our mental therapist is. We have a panel that discuss about your business, LLC. We discuss anything. When should you use your LLC? When you should transition to other things. This is where you will be able to really relate to all the business. On Monday evening, we have Pastor Siobhan Smith, and she is going to be bringing us a release. Now, every year at the end, we always tell people don't leave till Tuesday because you want to stay there for the release. What is the release? Every issue, every problem that you may be having, and all the things that you have learned, we want you to make sure that you release anything that's going to stop you or distract you from going back and utilizing all the things that you have learned at Impulse Summit. And we have an amazing, amazing, proud reveal partner, and that's Miss Kai Smith from the American Academy of Hair and Scalp and Disease. And when I tell you, she is pouring into Impulse Summit like she always have been. And this year, she's even more, along with AT&T, which is our proud sponsors. Miss Vanessa Harrison is our sponsor from AT&T for Impulse Summit. So it's big. Now, a lot of people say, I might not want to go to the Cream and Green, the all white, the post power breakfast, but I do want to just take the classes. You can do so for $2.99. And this is a limited time offer, $2.99 for classes only, where you can take cutting, color, natural hair, styling, avant-garde, anything, nails, makeup, eyelashes, and more. And we also have a special price and a special class just for our future professionals. We are also offering CEU hours, not just in the state of North Carolina or South Carolina, but we are offering CEU hours in several states so that you are covered at Impulse Summit. So if you need your CEU hours, you can get them there. If you want to just take classes, right, Corey, for $2.99, that's unheard of. Come take classes and sit in the seats, right? Absolutely. If we break it down and we talk about investment, I'm going to ask Shamira this, and I'm going to ask all of you also. Think about this. If there is something that you could change in the industry right now, what would it be?
Something that I can change in the industry, it would be something that Corey spoke to earlier, which would be lack of transparency. Not that you should share every single thing, but um, be sure that you are okay with, like Kay said, imparting knowledge so that people can go back and apply it in a meaningful and intentional way to increase their bottom line. So if we could be just more honest, open, and transparent, um, you know, not always highlighting the wins, but, talking about, how we have faltered, how we have stumbled, how we did need to seek out a mental, therapist, and
Yes.
how we did have to stay after church and just lay at the altar,
Yes.
how, what kept us in the industry for so long. If we could just be open and honest and transparent, because yes, it is great to have millennials, it's great to have social media, but there's staying power with those who have gone before us and those who are still doing it. So just being, very open and honest about our journey along the years.
Good. I'm gonna come back around a little bit and ask you, what are you bringing to Impulse Summit and what you expect to bring back? So I'm gonna come back to you, Mr. Corey. What you feel about that question?
I would definitely say I would change reaching back. So I seen on here, I believe her name is Miss AJ Jones. She asks, how does anyone on the panel give back? Right? So going back to schools, going back to up and coming cosmetology students and pouring that information and that inspiration into them is super, super important. I feel like that's something that is a must in the industry. And so I want to throw shade. I'm actually this real quick, Janae. I know you say you've been in the industry for 4 years. How many stylists, veteran nail techs have reached out to you and say, hey, you're doing a great job. Let me offer these tips and tricks to you. Let me show you these business hacks that's kept me in the industry for so long.
I've had some people reach out to me, and me personally, I love it. I'm always open to, learn from people that have been doing it longer than me. I've had people do it, but I love it.
Okay, perfect. So I mean that's prime example right there showing you, and so that could be reason why she's flourishing in the industry like this at 4 years, because she has those veteran nail techs reaching out to say, hey, you're doing a great job, or do this or do that, or this is a mistake that I made, like Shamir was saying, being transparent to say, hey, I've cut somebody's ear before, I made somebody's hair fall out from hair color before, right? So being transparent enough to say, hey, these are the mistakes that I've made. Let me show you how to not do this so that you can be even more successful than I am.
Love it. And then I'm gonna come back to you, Corey, and ask you, what are you going to be bringing to Impulse Summit and what you expect to take back? Miss K, same question. What is it that you would change about the industry?
Two things.
Okay, I like it.
One, all the color needs to come out of these beauty supplies, period. I wish the clients would not have access to those box colors and such. So I wish we could take that off the table, number one, because then we wouldn't have so much work to do on corrective. Number two, I wish that every state will require hours for education, extended education. In Texas, we do have that, but there's a lot of states that don't require to have additional educational hours. Every year, I feel like they need to be a must in order to keep your license up. So if we had that, then the classes will be easy for us to sell, because then we'll be giving out hours back. They're just kind of like getting away from that in the industry. So I wish every state had that. So that way the education would be correct and people would just know that it's not YouTube University. They have to sit in a class in order to get the word.
And I like a hands-on. I love to be there to feel the hair, touch it, feel it. I'm telling you, I'm the type of person, I like to dig in it. Let me see, let me pull it up. That's me. And I also love for people to say, I want to continue education. I want to not be forced, but it's a choice for me to sit in the chair.
Right. But it's sad enough to say, but seriously, and it's always been like this. Only 80% of the industry is, not serious about education. Yes. 20, you only have like a hot 20%. If you go to any show, you're going to see the same bunch of stylists, the same bunch. Any show you go to, where it's black, white, mixed, Spanish, it's always the same handful of stylists that you see all the time. And I wish that could be something that we could work on to make it more of a We should, we need to, and we must.
Mm, I like it because even a doctor has to go back. I'm gonna tell you right now, when I go to a doctor, I'm always looking at the last time they improved themselves, because now modern technology have changed, where you don't even have to get your breast cut off anymore. You can actually come in and, have different things done so that it will kill the cancer. It's so much things out there. But if that doctor said the first thing they want to do is just, amputate, come on. That's why that you definitely know as doctors, because it's only 3 people licensed. We learned this at Dudley to touch another person. That's a cosmetologist, that is a doctor, and that's a mortician. That's it. That's the only 3 that's licensed to touch someone.
Mm-hmm.
Fall under that, right? But we don't take it serious enough. We don't take it so serious the way we just giving up and saying, here you go. Here's my license. I don't care. I'm just going to walk away from it. And one thing I hear Danae say all the time is that she love what she do. Everybody on the screen, we don't like it. We love what we do. Danae, if there was something that you would say change in the industry, what would that be?
I would definitely say also too, more education, like you stated. Like, I wish there was more education on, nail things. That's why I'm always trying to take little classes so I'm able to teach what I know and stuff like that. And back to the gatekeeping, there is a lot of gatekeeping with nails. It's, people are kind of funny with it, but that's why I'm open. Just, show what I know. I wish it was just people would, be more open and, talk about the nails. It's okay, you don't have to tell everything, but be more
But
open
you know
about
what, Danae, even if they tell everything, you got to leave here empty. And that's one thing that you always want to be on this earth, but know that you're going to leave empty. Share it, because your gifts are your gifts. And you can't compare yourself to anyone else. That's going to always, you want somebody to be better than you. Anytime we educate somebody, I want somebody to run circles around me, because that makes me feel better knowing that they're doing it right. You
Mm-hmm.
want to keep somebody at a level. You always want to lift that person up. And that's what we constantly doing. We always want to lift that person up. If that person is better than you, that's good. You might need to learn from that person. It's okay that they're better than you. At least you take something from them. But that person is coming back and saying, hey, Micheline, let me take you with me. I want to pull you with me. Corey called me one time and said, next year, Micheline, I want you at this conference with me. I'm like, I'm there, Corey. But this is what you need. You need somebody to pour back into you. Like the young lady said, what are we doing to give back? We have so much in the Mpulse Summit. We do a class, and now it's 2 classes just for future professionals, period. Where we talking to them, motivation, color, braiding, natural hair, cutting, and styling, and color, just for future professionals, because they are our future. And without a future, it's going to be a thing of the past. Okay. Shamira, what are you bringing to Mpulse Summit, and what do you plan on bringing back? It's going to be a pull and push situation. What do you plan on doing?
I am bringing my wonderful personality as well as my great skill set when it comes to cutting and coloring. I love to do haircuts. I love that I have grown into myself as a cutter, being very unconventional, but yet precise. So I'm bringing that to the table. I like to simplify things. I'm not one who has to take the longest route to get there, because that is the way I learn. I'm a hands-on learner. And so I articulate in the same manner. And what I am going to take from the show is, you done posted Siobhan Smith. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So I know on release day, I already love Pastor Major. I mean, he had somebody crying last year. But he is amazing. And I know she's going to be the icing on the cake. And that is just what I'm going to take away. I am going to leave full, because I am coming just as empty as the rest of the guests, the students, so that I can learn. But I'm definitely looking forward to the release day and Sunday, because I love the Lord. So I'm going to have a good time. So I'm going to leave, being recharged and refueled by those I network with and come in contact with.
And we're going to talk about the Legends Corner in a few minutes. Mr. Corey, what is it that you are going to be bringing to Mpulse Summit, and what are you planning on bringing back?
Let me just say this, because these are my 2 friends on this live right here, and I want y'all to know y'all have been throwing secret shots, right? And so I got my pen and my paper right here writing this down. So after this live, you already know, okay? but as far as what we're bringing or what I'm bringing to Impulse Summit this year is not only the education and the art of hair color, but the business of it,
Mm,
right? Just how to really make money from doing color, how to really stop throwing money down the drain when it comes to mixing your colors, formulation, and even pricing hair color. Like, why are you charging what you're charging? Are you
mm,
just charging that because the girl next door is charging that? Why are you really charging what you're charging for hair color? And how can you make money from doing it?
yes.
One thing that COVID has taught me, and these two ladies on here as well, is work-life balance. Like, I no longer have to work in the salon from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Like, I no longer have to do that, right? But I had to sit down and understand, how much money am I spending on color? Am I making enough money from what I'm charging? So for my blonding service, is $300 enough? Do I need to do a la carte? How do I really make money from doing color behind the chair?
I love it. Okay, first time caller. What are you bringing and what are you boomeranging back home with you?
Boom.
I'm ready.
Come Get ready. Sharing is caring. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I care, I like to share. And so I'm bringing a lot of, I'm real, like, I would say spiritual, in the sense of I connect with people. They call me the mommy bear. You know what I'm saying? So because I could hone in on something, I could see a need. I'm like a crisis management. I see what your needs are, and I have the ability of bringing it on in like a mommy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna make sure that the people get it. No student left behind.
I
What
love
I'm gonna be doing to take it back, you're gonna stretch me out, and I'm gonna boomerang and bring a boomerang it back. I'm gonna bring new friends because I'm
it.
gonna meet a lot of friends there
Yes.
that we're gonna connect, not just from the show. We're gonna continue this
Yeah.
cycle of let's keep this going. You know what I'm saying? Let's meet some new friends. Let's challenge each other to bring somebody along to the next class that we're gonna go to, and
Yes.
so on and so on. Let's challenge our friends to, hey, you know what? It's not too late to get a ticket right now.
Yes.
Let's go. Because you know what? It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. We could cry together, we could kumbaya together, we could talk about whatever it is, but you know, it's gonna be teach one, reach one.
Yes. And that's going to be great that you can come and just take classes again for the $299. Mr.
Right.
D, what is it that you plan on bringing to Impulse Summit? Because again, you have become a founder. You staple like first one, boom, the brain nails to Impulse Summit. What you plan on bringing back? No pressure. No pressure.
No, you're good. I plan on bringing my skills. Like, I want to just be open and share everything, that I know, what keeps my clients coming back to me. And, I'm just excited. I'm excited just to show everything I know. And,
Good. So now we have legends in the Legends Corner. And what is the Legends Corner? That is where individuals like you all, Corey, Shamira, and Kay, y'all will be in the Legends Room where you are really discussing what kept you in the industry. Y'all been a staple in the industry, been under individuals that have really, that you learn from, that you grow from, and that now you're showing other people that. So to me, a legend is very important because somebody who you can look up to. When I think about a legend, that's somebody who I can call, like you said, Corey, give back and don't mind giving back. So to me, you are, when I said let's do a legend room, you are definitely the ones who came to my mind when it comes to individuals that I know have that passion and want to see Impulse Summit grow. And last year, Shamir, you sent me a message, and Corey sent one too, and you was like, "Listen, Impulse Summit hit different last year." And when I say that, it was a different feeling, it was a different vibe, and the confirmation from where you and Corey both sent me a text message and said, "Hey, we're always here for you." That definitely gets me emotional when I think about it because it's still on my phone, it's not going nowhere. Um, just to know that someone feels that we're constantly pushing. I always tell people, if you believe in Impulse Summit, bring somebody with you. If you believe that there's somebody, young lady had inboxed me, said, "Miss Mitch, I really want to be there, but I'm, going through some financial issues." And I'm like, "Listen, we're going to get you there." Because it's people who take out the time to inbox you and really genuinely say, "Listen, I enjoyed myself last year. I was a student and now I'm coming back and I'm behind the chair." And, it's been a little rough, but I want to extend my education. Who am I not to give back? Who am I not to pour back into someone that I genuinely know need to be and telling me that they need to be there? Um, and so that's what you all do to me. You refresh me, you resuscitate me, and you pour back into me. And that's very, very important to the lifeline of the assignment that God has me on. And so I definitely want that. And so at Impulse Summit, if you're looking to, to sponsor someone, do that. Reach about somebody who can be sponsored. If you want to put your products inside of our digital magazine or on the screen, do that. We are opening that up for you because it's about exposure. And if you are in a situation now where you need someone to know who you are, then what's best to know than when they see it and they can believe it. So this is an opportunity for you to expound on being at Impulse Summit and being on our screen so that we can put you out there even more, even in the ad. And if you want to sponsor a future professional or just a stylist that you know that you see is driving and want to do that, please do that. Corey, what's your words before we have to go?
What's my words before we have to go?
Yes.
Don't get left behind.
Mm.
Do not get left behind. Now is the time for you. Whatever you need, Impulse Summit really is gonna have it. And I'm not just saying that. Like, it's really everything under one roof.
Under one roof.
Business cutting, color, wigs, um, legends in the game. We're gonna have Etta James there.
Yes.
Oh,
You know,
oh.
we gonna have some legends there. I'm just kidding about Etta James, but really some legends there who can really pour into you. And the good thing about the legends being there is that everyone is open to sharing.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't come across those legends like, oh, I got here, you figure out your own way how to get here. Like everyone is open to sharing. So if you want to grow, this is the place for you to come and grow. So bring somebody along. I see we got a lot of people watching, we got a lot of people in the comments. So I want to challenge y'all, like Kay said, go and get one person and bring them to Impulse Summit. Or at least tell them about Impulse Summit, right? So for those millennials who may not follow us or who may not know about Impulse Summit, let somebody know about what's going on, right? So we got Beyonce coming up to Charlotte this week. I want y'all to show up to Impulse Summit just like y'all gonna show up to that Beyonce concert,
That's it.
right?
That's it.
Put
That's
that same energy back into Beyonce ain't paying y'all.
That's
She
it.
taking your money, right? So what I want y'all to do, take that same energy and invest it back into your business. Make sure that you come and get everything that you need right here at Impulse Summit, September, Charlotte, North Carolina.
I like it. Shamir?
Don't miss any more moments. Now's the time to show up for yourself. There will be no one that shows up for you like you outside of God. This is a wonderful space, an intimate space for you to learn and to grow and to be challenged all at the same time. What I love about even the founder of the summit is that she is walking around just as accessible and as tangible as the rest of us. She doesn't separate herself, and she makes you feel like you're part of a community. And who doesn't want to be part of a community as it pertains to the beauty industry? The relationships are invaluable. The education is bar none. You know, the investment is minimal as opposed to other shows and how much education you really will receive. And like Corey said, it's everything under one roof and everybody is accessible. So it's
Yes.
not one educator that I have met that has been standoffish, did not want to show, didn't want to encourage, didn't want to impart. So you will learn literally from the time you check into the hotel until the time you leave. You will learn, you will grow. It is an environment that is conducive for growth. So you have no choice but to change and to grow. So now's the time for you to show up for yourself and don't miss any more moments. It is new beginnings. So why not begin fresh in the month of August by investing in yourself?
Yes.
We love to eat and we love to eat well as stylists. If you don't go to Roof Chris or out to eat throughout the week, you can put that money towards this ticket. And if you already have your ticket, then pay for someone else to show up and to
Yeah.
come.
Yeah.
This is good ground.
That's it. That's good, girl. I
Come
appreciate
on, good ground.
it. Like it. I like it. Come on, Danae. What is it that you're gonna say to the people?
I just want to say this is definitely the time of education. Come learn new things, meet new people, network. Just put it back into your business. I'm definitely, I want to tell you thank you for this opportunity. This is something new for me, and I'm excited. I'm
Yes.
really excited.
Speaking of Impulse Summit, I watch people. I'm a people watcher, but the biggest thing is I always pick people with because of their heart and their passion. It's a lot of people who have followers and likes and all that. That's cool, that's dandy, but how are you going to treat the people? And everybody on you see on the screen, they treat people right. They are heart giving, and they have been that way from day one. A1. This is not something that just started. This is something that they always been that way. So that's how they're chosen. Go
But
ahead.
man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all, I wasn't gonna be a part of the summit, but I refused to take no for an answer. Mitch was like, we full. I was like, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm getting in here and I got to share the knowledge. She
Yeah.
was like, I kept on texting, hey, did you forget about me? Hey. And guess what, y'all? I got so many nuggets for y'all.
Mm,
I'm gonna tell y'all how to do the six-figure stylist situation. My
mm.
books have been booked and busy for over
Years.
20 years.
Yes.
Over steady. People are like, how do you keep on? My
Yes.
friend in court be like, girl,
That's
get out the fly.
that's the truth. No, that's the
And
truth. I'm
this is like no joke, guys. Like no joke.
yeah.
Seriously. So I'm gonna talk about consistency and keeping the clients in your chair. You know what I'm saying? So whereas you don't have to feel like, oh my God, this week looks good last week and next week is like slow. No. We're gonna talk about consistency. Every week will look the same. The coins will be coining.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about your spirit and your energy and the vibes that you give off as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about all of that. That, I'm just excited.
Yeah.
No is not an option.
No, it's
No is not an option.
no excuses. That's why we said, look here. We broke it down and said, let's just do the bare minimum then. Let's give you classes. You know, all of it is an experience. All of it.
Mhm.
So if you just want to take classes, $299, you can come to Impulse Summit and learn the nuggets, how to be a six-figure stylist, how to do proper color, correction of color, blonding, that's just right, how to do that precision haircut that's going to do that, because that right there is going to elevate you just alone, your 1%, just by learning all this,
Yeah.
how to get your nails on point and keep consistent guests in your chair where you are not just 1 year, 2 year, but consistently over 20 years of being consistent with your clientele. I don't know about you,
Mhm.
I don't want to learn that. And not only
Mhm.
the fact that even though you're haircutting, that's something that you can learn from Kay as well. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Because
sitting here listening.
yeah, just because it's haircutting or color, you can also learn that from the like the business portion of Impulse Summit is deep. It is mega
Yeah.
deep. It is mega deep. You could sit there and just be like, wow, I didn't know that. While like Corey was giving them little nuggets of, and there's some of the 80-20 rule and all this stuff is in there. So I know
Right.
you just asked the question, say, how can I join? I want to put that back up. She asked, I just got on a live. How can I join and where this at? I think her name is, let me see here. If we can pull that back up. She said, how can she join? Miss Ross Nelson. Miss Nelson is going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. It is September the 23rd through the 25th. It is not too late for you to join us. We have 46 days before Impulse Summit, and it is going to be a plethora of education under, I'm telling you, one roof. You don't have to leave that building. It is right there. Come downstairs, as they say, come downstairs and then come in.
Yeah.
So we got Miss Dan Ray that we was talking about, one of the amazing panelists that's going to be there. We're so excited to educate, bring all our years behind the chair in business to show you how to level. I'm going to tell you, this husband and wife duo team is powerful, and they are so excited. They want to show you how to enlarge your territory without being scared. A lot of us don't want to do it because we are scared, right? Monique is massive. It's going to be massive. So all we asking is don't meet us there. beat us there. And we have no excuses because I always, every week, I try to tell people to share, like, tag 3 people, tag somebody. So I took the time out to see who is going to really do what we asked them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to win an opportunity to come to Mpulse Summit? Mpulse Summit is $599. You can just come take classes by yourself, right? And so now we're seeing who is obedient. That right now, but it's all good because we are going to see who's going to be our winner, right? Now you might, because this let you know I'm not cheating, right? And our winner is Nabibia Jones. Nabibia Jones is the winner of the admission to Mpulse Summit. Y'all give it up for her. Give it up for her for being obedient, believing. This year theme is believe. And the thing about believe is your faith. I wear a mustard seed around my neck, and I went back because my other one, I had to put another one on, but I keep one around my neck most of the time. Really, I just took the other one off because the chain popped. But this means a lot. This means a lot. And to me, it means it's a constant reminder of having the faith. I have one in my shower, right? And I'm gonna just tell you this right now. In my shower, it started growing because of the water that was inside of it. It started budding. It's just like that with the tears that you're shedding right now in Mpulse Summit, the tears that we're shedding right now to elevate and educate our industry. We got to realize that God is counting all those tears and he's collecting them. And he's going to allow us to grow when we believe, when we constantly believe in what he can do and don't second guess. So I just want to take the time out to thank you all for being on this live. Thanking you all for knowing that all things are possible if you believe. 9 and 23. Yes, we are in the 9th month of September 23 through 25 in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we thank all those who partner with us, all those who believe in us, all those who planted a seed inside of Mpulse Summit. We're so grateful. And we look forward to seeing all of you all on the stage, in the lights, all the pep rallies, in the founders room, in the legend room, in the nail education. I look forward to seeing you all, and I will be in y'all class, all of it. As that guy said, I'm gonna give it to you, all of it. I've been there. We want to see you all there. If you want to register, simply go to MPULSC-SUMMIT. Y'all see how we said it? MPULSC-SUMMIT. That's mpulsesummit.com without the I, but we want to include you in on it. So mpulsesummit.com to register. You can make payment arrangements. This is our 5th year, and God has given us grace. He's given us grace, and we are so grateful for it. So join us again next Monday for another live. You too can be the winner. We love you all. Have an amazing day.